From the myths of alien origins to the crazy stories surrounding its founder, there has never been a more controversial cat breed than the Ragdoll cat. Let's take a look at how the Ragdoll cat came about and what they are like as pets. So where do Ragdoll cats come from? The origin of the Ragdoll dates back to the 1960s. It all started with a Ragdoll ancestor named Josephine. Josephine was a peculiar cat with long white hair. The problem was that nobody knew what breed this fine feline was. Josephine was an outdoor cat that nurtured her kittens just next door to a lady, Anne Baker, who was a breeder of Persian cats. Tragedy struck as Josephine was hit by a car one day. She was pregnant at the time of the accident. Luckily, Josephine was saved by her vet and she gave birth to a very gorgeous set of kittens. Josephine became docile during her recovery, and this temperament was passed down to her lovely kittens. Anne Baker became very interested in these fair felines, so much so that she bought them from the next door owners. Here's where it all gets interesting. Josephine birthed kittens that looked way more gorgeous after her accident than she ever had before the accident. When asked about Josephine's kittens, Anne Baker said she was convinced that Josephine was part of a top-secret government feline experiment. She believed that the cat was taken to a lab and had her genes altered to improve the look of her offspring. This of course remains unproven, and these gorgeous so-called experiments remained unclaimed by the government. This new breed of kittens became the first Ragdoll breeds. Anne Baker saw an opportunity for business and she took it. Rather than registering this new breed with the Cat Association, Anne Baker founded her own cat association that sold breeding franchises and licensing fees to breeders and got commissions for every kitten sold. Breeders had to follow strict rules and were not allowed to register the cat breed with other associations. Anne Baker dictated which cats could breed with which in order to maintain a certain quality in the offspring. She also claimed that Ragdoll cats by nature do not feel pain. There are also rumours that the Ragdoll breed was of alien origin. A cat breeder couple, Denny and Laura Dayton, who had acquired a pair of Ragdolls from Anne Baker long before her association was created, decided to create their own association in order to register the Ragdoll breed, since the couple didn't sign any contract with Anne. This infuriated Anne Baker, and she accused the Daytons of stealing and killing her kittens, as well as other serious legal claims that made the Cat Association unable to go through with the Ragdoll recognition contract. Anne Baker eventually met her end in 1997. After her death, the Ragdoll breed was registered with the Cat Association in February 2000. The breed then became known worldwide. How did Ragdolls get their name in the first place? It is said that they got their name from their similarities to the real-life Ragdolls. They like to be held a lot and they just lay on their backs and go limp while being carried about. This was the typical Ragdoll temperament. How would you know a Ragdoll if you saw one? Ragdoll breeds are usually medium to large in size. The male Ragdolls are larger, weighing 12 to 20 pounds, while the much lighter females weigh 8 to 15 pounds. They are well padded with a plush, averagely long silk coat. One of the Ragdoll cat's most distinguishing features are their coat patterns. They have darker fur around their eyes, ears, tails and paws. Ragdolls have 4 coat patterns that are officially recognised: the colour point, van, bicolour and mitted. Their large, gentle blue eyes are a special feature that makes them easy to spot. Because Ragdolls grow very slowly, it may take as long as 3 to 4 years for them to reach maturity and attain full size. If you've ever held one, you'd agree that they appear larger than they really are. This of course is because they are so fluffy, with a large fatty pad on their lower abdomen, often giving them a slightly obese look. Being obese is certainly a tendency for your Ragdoll if much care isn't taken about its weight. Now here's the interesting part. Let's take a look at the wonderful personality of the Ragdoll. If you thought that Ragdolls are energetic and always ready for a challenge, then you are greatly mistaken. You've got the wrong feline. These furballs are laid back and do not fuss over much. The beauty of these cats is that they actually like to be held and would follow you around the house seeking attention, unlike regular cats that are mostly independent and self-sufficient. They are also believed to be lap cats, meaning that they enjoy sitting calmly on their owner's lap, just relaxing and enjoying the care and affection. One could say that they are a lazy breed. Alternatively, we could also conclude that they are simply affectionate and are less demanding. Although there are always exceptions, not all ragdolls like to take a seat on their owner's lap. Some of them prefer to take a seat right next to you instead. It may have to do with the weather, as well as their insulating coat. Your pet may prefer to sit on your lap during the winter because of the seasonal cold and the need to stay warm. They may sit beside you when the weather is a lot warmer. It's not very clear, but if your cat decides to sit on you during summer, then it's certainly a lap cat. Ragdolls love attention differently. Some like to be petted while others love to be cuddled, but most of them are keen on being picked up and held, while some would likely find a way to evade or escape. Ragdolls are a complex breed, as there are still some that would cozy up to house guests and form quick bonds out of their curiosity and friendly nature. There are many things that you would love about the Ragdoll breed. Their adorable and attention-seeking nature makes them very entertaining to watch. They love to flop. They sit on their backs exposing their bellies, and they often roll around in the cutest manner. In many cases, you may find them on their backs fast asleep. They are fond of getting in between your feet while you're either walking around or standing. This of course requires a bit of caution on your end. Are ragdolls talkative? Why yes, they are. They particularly have two voice tones, a loud voice when they are hungry and would like to be fed, and a soft tender voice that is used to trills and chirps while on a regular day's activity. Ragdolls love food, and if you are thinking of rationing their meals, maybe you should scrap that plan immediately. They are also quite mischievous and intelligent. They quickly learn to open doors, drawers and cabinets while in search of food and adventure. They love fun and games such as fetch or other engaging toys. Ragdolls can be trained to walk on leashes. This is easier if you start them really early as kittens. They may be adventurous and clumsy sometimes, but they quickly learn to stay off counters, your laptop and other places that are out of bounds, as long as you are there to enforce that. But we can't guarantee that they won't mess around with your computers when you are not around. Are ragdolls active? To answer your question, adult ragdolls are not very active. They prefer light activities that do not require so much running. You can get them exercise by getting them toys that stimulate their mind and encourage them to move around more. Toys such as cat puzzles are helpful for the mind, while cat trees and obstacle courses would motivate them to climb and work out those feline muscles. Kittens, on the other hand, are quite energetic. They love to chase after objects and toys, especially when it's controlled by their guardian. They do not mind spending significant amounts of quality time with their human companions. Are ragdolls compatible with other pets and children? Their laid-back nature makes it easy for them to get along with just about anybody that is nice to them. They are gentle, patient and great with kids. Ragdolls love company and are best suited to people that work from home. Getting two ragdolls would be helpful if you're always away at work. That way, they can have some company. However, there may be more fur around the house than you would care for. Should you get a male or female ragdoll? Both males and females are gentle, affectionate, and generally have the same needs. The females may be a bit of a diva compared to the more dynamic males. They enjoy both indoor and outdoor activities. However, care should be taken outdoors, as ragdolls may be too friendly with strangers and could get stolen. Also, if there are possible dangers outside, such as predators or moving cars, ragdolls should be left inside, as they are not very good at spotting potential dangers around them. If you want to give your cat the outdoor experience, then you'd have to create a safe barricade space for them or walk them on a leash. How much grooming does your cat need? Some of them require minimal grooming because of their non-matting coat. However, this depends on your own cat, as matting may occur in cats that have finer coats. Daily to weekly brushing may be required depending on your cat's coat type. Ragdolls shed their fur all year round, so before you hurry to get one, you should know that you may be required to put in more time in grooming or visiting the cat groomer regularly. What health problems are ragdolls mostly associated with? Ragdolls are strong and healthy furballs. They only have one major disease that is common in the breed, and that is hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM, a heart condition that causes cardiac arrest and sudden death in cats. It is caused by the mutation of HCM genes. Cats that inherit 2 of these genes are even prone to early signs of this disease. Fortunately, the mutated HCM gene can be detected by genetic tests, which enable breeders to screen out carriers of these genes and only breed non-carriers. Ragdolls have a lifespan of about 12 to 20 years, averaging 14 to 16 years. Now you probably want to get one. How much would it cost to own a ragdoll? You can get a cute little furball at a starting price of $1,000 up to $2,000, or even more depending on the breeder quality. If you are low on cash but really want one, you can consider adopting one or a similar breed at a local shelter.